All right, welcome back to Terraforming Mars Colonies. We have one deck of cards left to go over, so let's go over them. And these are the cards that don't require you to play with colonies in order to play. So you could play this with the base game even if you weren't playing with the colonies expansion, probably. So first we have Community Services, and this is probably one of the coolest cards I've seen in this pile of cards. It costs 13 money, but you get to increase your mega credit production one step per card with no tags, including this. So there are cards out there that do not have tags on them. And if you end up having a lot of those cards that do not have tags on them, this is an awesome card for sure. Then we have Corona Extraction, 10, and it requires 4 science tags, but it's going to increase your energy production 4 steps. Then we have Conscription. This one requires you to have 2 Earth tags already in play, but you also need to pay 5 money for it. But this is another really good card. So the next time you play a card this generation, it'll cost 16 credits left, or less. So basically, if you're spending 5 money for this card, it'll cost 11 less. That's still a good deal. 11 less, technically, out of your grand total of money on your next card, that is cool. So 16 less, that's awesome. That's a really good card. But it does decrease your score at the end of the game by 1. Then we have the Earth Elevator for 43 money. Wow. But you get to increase your Titanium 3 steps. And it's going to give you 4 victory points at the end of the game. That could be worth it. Then we have Galilean Waystation for 15 money. You get to increase your mega credit production 1 step for every Jovian tag you have in play. If you do not have a lot of Jovian tags, obviously it's not worth your time. Alright, then we have Heavy Taxation for 3 money. It also requires you to have 2 Earth tags in play. It's going to increase your mega credit production 2 steps and give you 4 mega credits back. So basically, you're actually getting 1 free mega credit out of the deal because it costs 3 and then you're getting 4 back. So it's not only free, but you're getting a mega credit out of the deal. That's pretty cool. But it is worth a minus victory point at the end of the game, because nobody likes taxes, after all. Then we have Martian Zoo. This is probably my favorite one here. It's an effect card. You have to have 2, there has to be 2 city tiles on Mars in order to play this card, and it costs 12 money. But this is an effect card. When you play an Earth tag, you place 1 animal here. Then as an action, you gain 1 mega credit per animal on this card. So if you have a few animals, you'll get a few credits extra each generation. And if this game lasts several generations, you'll make your money back for sure, and then some. So that's a really cool card. Especially if you play a card that lets you add animals to another card, you could add those animals to this card and, have a lot of animals that way. And if you look at the card closely, it is a zoo because there are elephants in the background. Cool, cool. When you first look at the card, you just see the horse. But if you look in the background, there's a herd of elephants back there. So that's really cool. Awesome card. Who says there's no animals in this expansion? There's one right there. Anyways, so then we have Impactor Swarm for 11. It also requires you to have 2 Jovian tags in play, which is no easy feat. Now, this one will actually give you 12 heat cubes, and it will remove up to 2 plants from any player. So that's kind of interesting. If you want to increase the temperature, this is a good way of doing it. Then we have Luna Governor. Now, this one requires 3 Earth tags to play, but it's going to increase your mega credit production 2 steps. Then we have Lunar Exports for 19 money. You have a choice to either increase your plant production 2 steps or increase your mega credit production 5 steps. Wowzers. That would be a tough decision even for me. Then we have Lunar Mining for 11 money. Increase your titanium production 1 step for every Earth tags you have in play, including this. So if you have a lot of Earth tags, you could increase that quite a bit. I always seem to have a lot of earth tags, so that would be beneficial for me. Then spin-off department, 10 money, but when you play a card with a basic cost of 20 credits or more, you get to draw a card. And by paying for this card, you also get to increase your mega credit production 2 steps. Plus, that's kind of interesting. So if you're playing a lot of high-powered cards that have a lot of money in the cost, you're going to get to draw a free card. That's pretty cool. That could come in handy. Then we have Refugee Camps. 10 money to pay for it. This will decrease your mega credit production 1 step to add a camp resource to this card. So basically, this is like adding an animal to a card, or a microbe to a card, or even a floater to a card, for instance. But this is worth a victory point for each camp resource on this card. And that's all the camp resources are going to do. It's just going to make this worth victory points. But you have to decrease your mega credit production 1 step. And you can only do it once per generation. So it's one of those things that if you're going to do this, you got to plan to do it quite a bit. And like I said, it would probably only be worth it if your mega credit production is going up a bunch of steps a lot. So if it's at like 6 or more, or higher than that even, doing this every generation isn't going to hurt you. It's going to help you. But if your mega credit production is really low and you haven't got to play any cards that increase this, then playing this card is a bad idea. Alright, we still have a few more. Then we have Subzero Saltfish. Here's another animal. This one will add 1 animal to this card, and it's worth a victory point for every 2 animals on this card. But it does require the temperature to be at least 6 degrees or warmer. But it will also decrease any plant production 1 step. So you could use this to attack your opponents, basically. And then, in the beginning of the game. And then the rest of the time, you're just adding animals to this card as an action during each generation. It only costs 5. So that's actually a pretty good deal. I like that. Alright. And then we have Warp Drive. Wowzers. You need to have 5 science tags in play in order to play this. That's not an easy feat. That is hard. But it costs 14 to play. But then when you play a space tag, you'll pay 4 mega credits less than it. Is it worth it? Oh man, it's you'd have to see if it's worth it or not. It's if you have a lot of space cards after you play this and you're able to get those science tags early in the game, somehow, some way you're able to get those science tags early in the game, which is possible to get those early in the game, but not likely. This could be worth it. But would you get this card if it was worth it? If you had a bunch, it's the randomness of the draw of the cards. So, Solar Probe. Now this one I'm not too sure about as being a good card, but for 9 money, you get to draw a card for every 3 science tags you have, including this. So, I guess you would get 1 card for playing it, because it says you draw a card including this for every 3 including this. So I think you would get the 1 card by playing this. And then if you have 3 science tags altogether, you'd get another card. And then for every 3 more, you'd get another card. But still, that's not likely to happen. So it's not really worth it. I don't even think it's really worth it for just drawing 1 card. So this is probably a skip. Unless you have a lot of science tags in play. Maybe your corporation has a science tag on it. Maybe your prelude card also has a science tag on it. That could be worth it if that was the case. Now, then we have solar reflectors for 23 money. This will increase your heat production 5 steps. That's a pretty good deal. I like that. That's not too bad. But that's all of the cards in this expansion. That is it. That is everything this expansion has to offer. Everything. We've got it over it all, except for what Venus Next has to offer, or the Venus Next aspect to this game has to offer. So, I hope you guys liked these videos, and I hope you guys understand now how to play with this expansion, which you probably do if you've played Terraforming Mars before. You probably have played with colonies before. But if you haven't, then this is hopefully this helped you out. And at least it I explained every card in detail. Not everybody is going to explain every card in detail, so that's what I did. I hope that helped out better. I think I explained all the cards except for maybe one or two perfectly, or almost perfectly anyways. So I hope you guys liked that, and I hope to see you guys again soon in another video. Thank you for watching.